Bitcoin's Coinbase premium turned negative. Here's what that means for the Bitcoin price. And now, let's begin. Welcome back to CryptoWealthy channel, guys. In today's video, Monday's episode with a cup of coffee, of course, we're going to be doing technical analysis on the Bitcoin price. We're going to go very quickly through some altcoins, and we're going to go through this very interesting and important news and some metrics. Is the Bitcoin entering the new bigger correction, or this is just bear trap before we see much higher prices? What happened during the weekend and how we can see bigger prices? And now let's jump into this article first to see what is going on over here. As you can see, Bitcoin's Coinbase premium turned negative. Here's what it means for the BTC price. We all know that the Coinbase Pro is mostly used for institutional investors because Bitcoin is not that much regulated in this world, but we're going to go through that also because we have one more news about that. Anyways, as you can see over here, we have some chart over here comparing to the Binance buying over here pressure, and as you can see, Coinbase premium hits the -45 over here, while Binance in this case scenario is surging towards the upside. So in this case scenario, we have lower volume of buying from the Coinbase, while normal investors are pretty much buying onto the Binance, which means we still don't know how this will react on the price. Of course, this is probably the short-term selling pressure over here, and if we switch to the charts, you can see that we are actually entering in some sort of a rising wedge formation, which is bearish formation. If we zoom in a little bit, we can actually switch to the 4-hourly chart, and what you can see is perfectly good higher highs over here and higher lows. We even had some wicks over here from this pattern. This sort of a pattern tends to actually break to the downside and push towards some sort of a correction. If we switch on the 1 daily chart, what you can see there is that we still on 1 daily chart did not retest 20 exponential moving average, which this pattern could actually lead to retest 20 exponential moving average or further pressure towards the downside, which I think is possible, but we're going to see if it's likely, right? We need to see first pressure towards the 20 exponential moving average. Now, one more reason why we may actually break bearish in the next hours or even day or two is because of the bearish divergences that are forming already since January over here. This bearish divergence you should take care of, because over here you can see that we are making higher high on the chart on a little bit bigger scale, and down over here on the RSI and the MACD we are seeing a lower high, ladies and gentlemen, on both of these oscillators and indicators, whatever you want to call them. And unfortunately we may actually break to the downside. This is daily chart. If we switch to the 4-hourly chart, you can see the same thing in this pattern and even longer. Look at this. This is pretty much bearish divergence on every single time frame, and this is something that we discussed also in the previous many previous videos, that we may enter wave 4 correction if it's not over yet. Of course, from that correction that we had, we may actually enter that wave 4 correction, which is pretty much big, to 50% even. And one of the implications for that is to see bearish divergences on the lower and higher time frame. I hope you didn't forget what we discussed when we discussed about that. So right now we are forming such a stuff. We are forming such a patterns over here. We are forming some sort of a top formation, I think, over here. So yeah, we're going to see if this may actually play out. If we break 20 exponential moving average, the 20 exponential moving average would be my next indicator. If we break 20 EMA, then we may see a retest of this trend line that was holding our market structure on some sort of a way. So observe 20 EMA in the next few days if we're going to actually hold it or break it to the downside. Now also one more bearish implication over here is extreme greed on fear greed index over here, ladies and gentlemen. 93 is pretty high. We yesterday even had 95, as you can see, and I would be strongly careful over here. What am I doing with the trading and with everything? I would rather watch how this RSI is pushing further to the upside. Price is still pushing to the upside, so all bearish divergences will be diminished and we are going to continue bouncing from 20 EMA towards the upside. Now, since we discussed about institutional investors, we can see that Hester Pierce, our crypto mom, is discussing about calling for the regulation for institutional investors because the time has never been better. The point is that after the Tesla, after Elon Musk bought so many bitcoins for the Tesla, we saw the MasterCard, as you can see over here, we saw the BNY Mellon bank and many others that are want to actually come into the crypto and buy, of course, Bitcoin and maybe other altcoins as the Ethereum and some other that deserves to have such institutional investors, right? So what she's saying over here adds to the urgency of us taking some sort of an action in this area because this new government that came into the USA are a little bit slow with everything. It's not only that there have been calls for clarity for some time and that a new administration brings the chance to take a fresh look, but it also is a moment where it seems others in the marketplace are also taking a fresh look. So she's pretty much urging for the regulation. People are impatient, are becoming impatient because they really want regulations to hit the place, because we are in the bull market and we want institutional investors to come in right now, because right now we need them. We need to push that price, we need to push our bags also, of course, and we need to see some regulation for the retail investors also. So yeah, we're going to see how this will continue this story over here. I hope they are going to hurry up, because also we heard the first ETF was approved in Canada a few days ago, so we see Canada is still moving, right? So switching back to the charts, ladies and gentlemen, this is it for the Bitcoin. I can actually show you what I bought also over here on the altcoins, and we can go to see what's happening with the altcoins. As you can see, pretty much every single one of them is following the Bitcoin and the correction. We are on the daily chart on the XRP. XRP is doing pretty well. This is our second consecutive trade after we took profits over here. We entered the new position over here, as you can see, and yeah, we are right now in some good profits and in the correction. On the altcoins, this is looking pretty well because they are moving, then you are seeing correction, then of course we're going to see probably new rally to the upside, and so on and so on. If we switch to the XMR, this was some good profits, ladies and gentlemen, 70%. Link USD is doing perfectly well. As you can see, we have a good decline from 20 EMA, which means that we bounced. Yesterday I bought Komodo. One of the reasons that I bought Komodo was because of breaking this big resistance over here, and this is pretty much multiple year resistance. Once some asset breaks that such a big resistance, usually you can see much bigger spikes. So I would also recommend you to check out Komodo, because right now after so many years it's out from this resistance area and this consolidation bearish phase. So make sure to observe it. You may actually earn something. I'm already in pluses. This was the entry point over here. Phil USD is the only one that is lagging a little bit, but still in profits, still at zero levels, right? ETH is on perfectly good position right now. We are seeing some sort of a retest of 20 EMA and this trend line that we had over here. We can extend it a little bit, but we are still in profit. Switching to the next one, EOS pretty much surprised me over here with the 74-75% profits, more or less. Still is on the uptrend. CRV not so bad. Switching to the next one, AST is in the best profits over here, 131%, and we were on 200 and something. This was very good buy. ETC also surprised me a lot. Ontology I bought yesterday. Ontology is in minus, as you can see over here, but nevertheless it's bouncing back and going to retrace most probably. And Neo is still in plus over here, actually in levels of zero, right? So that's pretty much it for this technical analysis day, ladies and gentlemen. We are still into some profits, very good profits, and we are still expecting continuation patterns, but we are going to follow Bitcoin's pattern over here. That is worrying me a little bit, because if we don't break out this level of resistance over here in the next few days or so, we may actually see a lower price, especially if we don't break mid of this pattern, then we may see some weakness in the price into this pattern that could give us a signal for sell-off. So we're going to see if that will happen, and if we have some major move to the downside, we may actually do the extra video as a breaking news or something. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you like this sort of content. Yeah, let me know in the comment section down below what is your approach to the crypto market right now. I want to thank each last one of you for watching our videos, and until the next episode, happy trading and goodbye.